What is going on, baby? What is going on? The New York Mets have traded for Freddy freaking Peralta, man. Huge trade for the New York Mets. They land their starting pitcher that we've been talking about the all off season. It's about Freddy Peralta. Freddy Peralta. It's about obviously the Mets being interested in Freddy Peralta. Wow, wow, wow. The Mets land their guy all offseason. It's been a tough offseason for us Mets fans. Obviously, you lost Brandon Nimmo, you lost Pete Alonso, and you lost Edwin Diaz. But then you get Devin Williams. Then you get Luke Weaver. Then you get Jorge Polanco. But man, then you get Bo Bichette. You get freaking Bo Bichette. Then you add Freddy Peralta and Tobias Myers. I mean, when you look at, man, this is just a late night stream. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this trade because this is just an amazing, amazing trade. I feel like for the New York Mets, this is exactly what they needed. Last year, 2025, what did they lack? Starting pitching. That is why they didn't make it to the playoffs. They only had to win one more game. Nolan McLean was called up late. Jonah Tong didn't perform well. Brandon Sproat couldn't get that many wins. And now the New York Mets land Freddy freaking Peralta. So credit to David Stearns, who's been a guy that, I mean, he's the president of baseball operations, and he's been crapped on by so many Met fans. But look at what he has done. He went for the best free agent in the class, and that was Kyle Tucker. He offered him a $220 million deal. When it comes to that, credit to David Stearns. Yes, he didn't land the guy, but man, he did the effort. He did the effort. But look who he just landed. He landed Freddy freaking Peralta. I mean, when you talk about Freddy Peralta, the Mets actually land Freddy Peralta. We're going to look at the stats here. 17-6 with a 2.70 ERA, 204 strikeouts. That is what I love about this. Last year, Nolan McLean, Jonah Tong, those young guys, they had to depend on the young guys because the veterans wasn't getting the job done. They were not getting the job done. But now you have Freddy Peralta. They needed that frontline starter. What we have been saying for 3 years, it's been like David Stearns needs to get that frontline starter. He needs to get that frontline starter. The Mets have one of the best farm systems in the game. And the official trade, guys, which we will talk about, the official trade is Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams for Freddy Peralta and Tobias Myers. An absolute, I mean, bomb of a trade when it comes to for the New York Mets. So credit to the New York Mets for making this deal. This is a trade that is like, wow. Wow. When John Heyman tweeted that the Mets were in talks with the Padres, not with the Padres, sorry, with the Brewers, I was like, whoa, this is becoming big. And then we saw the tweet, oh, this is serious talks. And then we're hearing names being engaged, so it's just like, what the hell, man? It's awesome to see for us Met fans. It really is. I mean, this is the guy that, like I said, the Mets needed. The Mets needed this frontline starter, and they got Freddy freaking Peralta, man. Freddy Peralta, and they also got Tobias Myers, who is a relief pitcher with years of control, and he could be a starter as well. In the wild card game against the New York Mets, I think it was a game 3. He pitched 5 shutout innings against the New York Mets. So Tobias Myers could be a steal in this trade, man. But I like Jet Williams. I like Brandon Sproat. And this is something that we heard, today about the unwillingness to give up these guys. Well, listen, they just gave them up, man. But let's talk a little bit about Brandon Sproat. because this is one of their prospects. This is one of the starting prospects, starting pitcher prospects that I think he looked good. I think he looked good overall in 2025. He didn't get that many wins, but man, when he was on his game, he pitched literally 5 shutout innings in his first start. He almost pitched. He was like, it looked like he was going to pitch a no-hitter. That's how on point he was. So credit to the New York. I mean, credit to Brandon Sproat for, first of all, working hard, because this guy worked hard. This guy's a guy that got jumped by Jonah Tong and Nolan McLean. This is guys that they talked about with the Garrett Crochet trade. So look, when it comes to the New York Mets, you now have starting pitching. Yes, you give away Brandon Sproat, but it's like you got to give to get. You got to give to get. If the Mets want to win now, they had to make a move for a frontline starter. They absolutely had to. So I think when it comes to New York, I love this. I absolutely love this, man. I mean, if you're a Met fan right now, how are you not happy? How are you not happy? And obviously, Freddy Peralta is a rental. You know, they're paying him. They're going to be paying him $8 million this year. But this is a guy that wants an extension. He's talked about it before. There was reports that he wants an extension, but the Milwaukee Brewers are not willing to go that extension route. So what's going to happen here? Are the Mets going to extend Freddy Peralta? We will see. That is going to be very interesting and a very interesting storyline to take a look at. But man, Jet Williams, I mean, this is a guy that is a top prospect, man. Top prospect. And he's a guy, they're both top prospects, top prospects. But this is guy, Jet Williams, he's a top 100 prospect. Okay. I think he was like number 30 or something in there. So, or number 20 something, and credit to Jet Williams, the work that he has done with Alex Bregman in the offseason, what he has done in the minors. He's dealt with some injuries. First of all, he was in AAA. He dealt with an injury, and then they put him back to AA. He worked hard. He had a really good season. This is a guy that the Brewers liked. The Brewers like Jet Williams, and I get why. This is a guy that has really plus speed. He has good bat-to-ball skills, so it makes perfect sense for the Milwaukee Brewers. This is when you look at the Brewers, those type of players like a Jackson Chourio, those guys like multiple of those guys that just put the ball in play. They put the ball in play and they don't strike out a lot. That's the big thing about these guys. And Jet Williams, he's one of those guys. So I think when it comes to the New York Mets, you needed to add a starting pitcher, and you did. That is what makes this awesome for the New York Mets. I am truly hoping that, this is just a positive time, man. It's a positive time. And, credit to David Stearns. I give the credit to David Stearns completely, because this offseason, we have talked about it. They need to add a starting pitcher. And now they have added a guy, like I said, who went 17-6 with a 2.70 ERA. You're talking about a rotation of Freddy Peralta, of Nolan McLean, of David Peterson, of Clay Holmes, of Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga. Now, obviously, there is still more offseason to go. The Mets could be done, or they could not be done. There could be more moves coming. There could be maybe one more move coming. Who knows? Maybe they are complete. Maybe they are done. But I like where this team is. I feel like, yeah, I would have loved to have Kyle Tucker. Absolutely love to have Kyle Tucker. But we couldn't. We didn't land him. We didn't. But we got Bo Bichette. We got Jorge Polanco, we got Marcus Semien, and we still have, obviously, Juan Damn Soto, man. Isn't it good to be a Met fan and have Juan Soto on your team? You have Juan Soto on your team. Juan Soto's a New York Met. sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we really do forget it, man. Oh man, let me see here. Let me see here. What's going on, G Money Stack? Hopefully you feeling good on this night. Really appreciate you coming to the stream. What's up, Randy? It hurts to see Jet Williams go to the Milwaukee Brewers. You know, Bo Bichette is a Met, now wearing 19, playing third base. Congratulations to Carlos Beltran for being inducted to the Hall of Fame. That is an absolute amazing point, what you just said. Congratulations to Carlos Beltran, man. I mean, being inducted to the Hall of Fame, that's an amazing honor, and he deserves it. I know people want to talk about him cheating in the Houston Astros, but at the end of the day, he was voted in to the Hall of Fame. So I absolutely love it, man. Let me see here. Coming in for a landing, baby. Yeah, man. Sonic, how we feeling, man? Sonic, how are we feeling about this trade? I mean, you got Freddy Peralta and Tobias Myers. Like, for Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams. Look, I get it. A lot of people didn't want to add Jet Williams to that trade, but you got to give to get. You got to give to get. And maybe they can work out an extension with Freddy Peralta. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I like the idea of having Freddy Peralta as a New York Met for the next the next like 5 years, 6 years. I mean, I absolutely love it, man. I like Freddy Peralta a lot. Like I said, 17-6 with a 2.70 ERA, 204 strikeouts. Very impressive when it comes to Freddy Peralta. I absolutely, man. I mean, you like, this is just an exciting time to be a New York Met fan. And we went through a weird offseason. We went through a really weird offseason, but man, this has been very exciting. But I want to talk about Tobias Myers. And I don't want, some people to forget about Tobias Myers. Like I said, he pitched in game 3, game 3. And it was the Mets against the Brewers in the wild card. He had 5 shutout innings. This is a guy that, first of all, he could be a starter or he could be a relief pitcher. Now, I really like his stuff as a relief pitcher, man. He is absolutely nasty. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Look, you traded Luis Angel Acuna for Luis Robert yesterday, and then you get Freddy Peralta tonight. I mean, it's absolutely awesome to see, man. Let me get to a comment here by Sonic, man. Sonic, it's a good trade, even though it sucked to see our old players gone during the offseason, but their legacy in orange and blue goes on. Yes. Look, Pete was an awesome Met. Brandon Nimmo, he was a cool Met. Like, I don't think Brandon Nimmo was anything special of a player, but what I will say about Brandon Nimmo is each day in out, he brought the energy. He always, was the guy to work hard and try to be better for this team. He's a guy that I thought Michael Conforto was going to be, on this team and longer than him. But Brandon Nimmo lasted longer. He lasted longer. And when we signed him to the extension in 2022, I wasn't the biggest fan of the deal because I don't feel like Brandon Nimmo is a player that, you want him for 8 more years. Like, it's like, I just felt like it was a lot. But at the end of the day, Brandon Nimmo is now a Texas Ranger, and the New York Mets, have Marcus Semien. So I like Marcus Semien. He's a gold glover. He gives you awesome defense. And Luis Robert is a guy that also gives you really awesome defense as well. So center field, I feel like we're good there. We're good with center field. But I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about Carson Bench? Because I feel Carson Bench is going to get the opportunity. And that's what I really love. I love that. Look, I know a lot of my fans wanted Cody Bellinger, and I wanted Cody Bellinger too. I definitely wanted Kyle Tucker over Cody Bellinger. But what I will say is when we didn't get Tucker, I was like, okay, go get Bellinger, right? But when we saw the trade that they got Luis Robert, it was like, okay, they're probably not going to get Cody Bellinger, right? Or maybe they will. Who knows? And then we saw today, Cody Bellinger went back to the New York Yankees. And we kind of figured this was going to happen. We figured that the New York Yankees was going to sign back Cody Bellinger. So I'm completely fine with it. I really am. Let me get to a comment here about, I also saw Luis Robert being signed to the New York Mets. Only thing is that he has a injury history. And if he gets injured again, he will be worse than that Griffin Canning injury. Wow. Look, I understand the fear and the concern when it comes to Luis Robert, because this is a guy that doesn't really play a lot of games. He's had a lot of injuries, and there's a reason to be concerned with that. I completely get that. But what I will tell you is, if he can be healthy, and let's say he is healthy, he can be an awesome piece for this team. I mean, we're talking about a guy that has power. If you look at his 2023 stats, he hit a lot of home runs. Man. So I like Luis Robert. I think if he's healthy, which that has been the big issue with Luis Robert, it's the health. That's been the issue. So I'm hoping that he's healthy at the end of the day, and he plays for the New York Mets and has an awesome year. But what I love about this, G Money, is that we're not committed to Luis Robert. We're not committed. It's only a 1 year, $22, $million option. So at the end of the day, if he sucks, he sucks. It's not like we're committed to him for so many years. So that is what I really love about it. But what I also feel is the fact that Bellinger went to the Yankees, it gives so much more opportunity for a Carson Bench. And that is what I feel the Mets wanted to do. David Stearns wanted to do, and give these opportunities to these young kids like a Carson Bench. I always felt like that was his prize. That was his prize fighter when it comes to the first guy he traded. I mean, not traded. The first guy he drafted was obviously Carson Bench. So we'll see what happens. I'm very, very excited about Carson Bench, man. Let me see here. Now I'm looking forward to seeing the former Blue Jays player with us now. Yeah, man. I Bo Bichette, man. I mean, I'm very, very excited about Bo Bichette. I really do like Bo Bichette. I think, we heard in the press conference today, he likes New York. He feels like it's one of the best cities in the world. And I get it. And when John Heyman asked him about the opt-out, it was like, yeah, you like it here, but you still got two opt-outs that really protect you. So how are you committed to this team? You know what I'm saying? But he answered the question. He answered the question, bro. He answered the question, and he said, listen, I'm a young player. The agent said he's a young player, and you got to protect yourself, but he's still committed to the New York Mets. So, I mean, we'll see definitely what happens, and, what goes forward here. Let me see a comment here by G Money. We also forget about Nick Morabito, and who can play left field and center field as well. That's a good point, man. Nick Morabito is a guy that I like. Nick Morabito. Not a lot of people are talking about Nick Morabito. So credit to you for bringing up Nick Morabito. I think he's a guy that is a prospect that is exciting. He's a little bit like Jet Williams in a way. He's a taller kind of Jet Williams. I like his bat to ball skills. I like his speed. We'll see what happens there. Let me see a comment here. We got Ches. What's going on, Ches? How you doing? Reposting the stream. Really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. Let me see a comment here. Let me see. So Ches says Stearns has rebounded nicely. I won't miss the old core one bit. Wow. Same jersey, new names, new us. LGM. Look, I love that comment, because when it comes to the New York Mets, this is a whole new team, guys. This is a whole new team. Now you have Luis Robert, Bo Bichette, Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, Beatty, Francisco Alvarez, and you got Carson Bench and Luis Robert and Polanco. Marcus Simeon. This is a whole new team, and that is what's exciting about it. I truly love that, man. We'll definitely see. I really appreciate you, Chaz, stopping by. Let me see here. Let me see. We got Jay's Beers. Nice trade. Love it. Yeah, man. I let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Joselito, ¿cómo está la cosa? Tranquilo, bro. Oh my, how you doing, bro? Joselito, dímelo. Let's go Mets, bro. Vamos a ver lo que pasa, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited to what's to come from the New York Mets. What's going on with the New York? I'm just so excited, man. Let me see here. Love all the acquisitions. Yeah, like when you think of the New York Mets, right? You got Jorge Polanco, you got Bo Bichette. I mean, you got guys that really can hit with runners in scoring position, man. Luis Robert as well. You also got guys that hit lefties. Luis Robert hits lefties. Jorge Polanco hits lefties. And man, I mean, it's just exciting. And Bo Bichette, it's very exciting. So I truly am excited about it. You see here, we got a comment here. Is Bo gonna have a big year? I truly hope so. Why not, bro? I mean, look, I know a lot of Met fans are probably concerned about the third base and the defense. I absolutely get it because he's not that great of a defender. But man, we still got Brett Beatty. Like if Bo Bichette doesn't work out at third, maybe we can move Bo Bichette somewhere and we could put Beatty to third. So we'll see what happens. Joselito said we need one move for left field. Left field? One move for left field? We got Carson Bench. Joselito, come on. You got to give the chance to the young kid, bro. I feel that Carson Bench is going to get the shot. I think he's going to get the shot. And I'm good with it because, like, this is what Stearns wanted to do. He wanted to give these young players a chance. Like, if he would have got a Kyle Tucker here, maybe Carson Bench would have been in the minors for a little bit. I mean, so who knows? Let me see here. You and I talked bad vibes with the Duran. Peralta only brings positive vibes to the clubhouse. Tagging you in a clip. Appreciate you, Echo, man. Listen, yeah, the Duran thing didn't happen. They got Luis Robert. Good to see that outfield acquisition. I like Luis Robert. I like what he gives you. If he can stay healthy and if he can hit, then he's going to be an absolute steal in this trade. So we'll definitely see what happens there. Let me see. Pete Alonso, who? Wow, Pete Alonso, who? Look, Pete Alonso was an awesome Met, guys. He was an awesome Met. But at the end of the day, David Stearns, the chief, he didn't want him back. And I know a lot of Met fans are probably not happy with that. Me personally, I would have loved to have Pete back. I really would have. But at the end of the day, it just didn't happen. So let me see here. Another player, prospect, another prospect that are players, obviously, barely gets talked about is AJ Ewing and Jacob Reimer. Now, that's a really good point. I like Jacob Reimer and I like AJ Ewing. AJ Ewing is a guy that, you know what's funny? People were looking at him. There was talks that he could be better than Jet Williams as a prospect. And I was like, oh, wow, that's very interesting. And Jacob Reimer, if let's say Bo Bichette opts out, right, next year. Let's say he opts out. And we still got Jacob Reimer that is coming soon. So I like what you're saying here. We got prospects and we got flexibility. And that's what I feel that David Stearns really wants. He wants that roster flexibility, man. That's what he wants. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Let me see here. San, what's going on? San, really appreciate you coming to the stream. Rebounded. He had a plan and executed it. Yes. He had a plan and executed it, man. Look, if the plan was to get Kyle Tucker, okay, that didn't work out. But you got Luis Robert, who you've been interested all offseason. Luis Robert. We've seen multiple reports about Luis Robert, like multiple, man. And I I absolutely love it, man. I really do. I feel like this is going to be an awesome lineup, a different lineup than what you're used to, because we're used to the regular Brandon Nemo, the Lindor, the Soto, the Alonso, the McNeils, all that. No, now you got a whole different lineup, y'all. Whole different lineup. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but me personally, I'm putting Luis Robert in the 9 spot because I want him to get on base for a guy like a Francisco Lindor, a guy like a Juan Soto. I really feel that if you put Luis Robert in that 9 spot and he steals a lot of bases, he gets on base, that could be an awesome acquisition for the lineup. See, G Money said, let me see what G Money said. I'm hearing about future possibility idea of Brett Beatty playing first base. How do you feel about that? That's a good question. So what's funny about this is Brett Beatty is a guy that I feel he's like suited for first base. I don't know. I've always kind of felt like he's suited for first base. So I wouldn't mind seeing him at first base and put Jorge Polanco in the DH spot. But who's going to be a utility guy? Is it going to be a Jet Williams? Who knows? It's probably going to be, well, it's just Polanco's probably going to play first, and Beatty's going to be the utility guy, and the DH is going to be Vientos. Because, yeah, you got to think about Vientos. You really do got to think about Vientos. So, let me see here. Love the comments, guys. Really appreciate you coming. I mean, this is what where are we? We're what is this? Wednesday night? Yeah, well, yeah, Wednesday night. Really appreciate you guys, coming to the stream and engaging with me. Really do. Let me see here. The most important part of the team is a healthy clubhouse culture, politics included, unfortunately. Yeah, look, we're not gonna get into no politics here. No politics. Baseball is baseball. Baseball players is baseball players. And at the end of the day, that is what's played on the field? Baseball, right? So I'm not gonna get into no politics or anything, but yes, we do want a healthy clubhouse. Always want a healthy clubhouse. And I feel that in 2025, we didn't have that like healthy clubhouse. I don't feel like we had that. So we'll definitely see what happens there. But I'm very excited. Sonic, what's going on? Sonic, my guy, Sonic. He left for Baltimore. I'm still following him. Okay. Yeah. Look, I think when it comes to Pete Alonso, look, he took the best contract for him. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the 5 years from Baltimore, and good on him. Good on him, man. Pete Alonso secured his future. That is what Pete Alonso needed to do. So I just felt like David Stearns, he never wanted Pete Alonso here. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's how I feel. His plan was Tucker. He rebounded after he missed. I'll take Bo, Robert, and 2026 Peralta. I'm okay with that miss. Look, that might be a miss, but he really tried to get Kyle Tucker. I mean, you talk about offering $55 million a year for Kyle Tucker, and the Dodgers signed him for 60. I mean, wow. Like you offered $220 million for the whole thing, but you're talking about $55 million a year for 4 years. 4 years. And we had a bigger signing bonus to offer him. Like, it's just like, we can't really talk trash about David Stearns when it comes to that, because he put his best foot forward. They were going hard for Kyle Tucker. It just didn't happen. Ches, let me see. Randy, are we done? Is there more? What's your thoughts? That's a good question. Is there more to what the Mets are going to do? I don't think that they're done yet. I think that maybe there could be more moves coming. Now, what will those moves look like? Maybe it's going to be a minor league move. Maybe it's going to be, maybe it's going to be a Yandy Diaz. Who knows? At the end of the day, the New York Mets have the power to do what they want to do. Now, what I want to really, talk about here is what if a Tarek Skubal becomes available? Whoa, whoa, right? If a Tarek Skubal becomes available, I mean, you're talking about going for Tarek Skubal by trade. And you imagine having Freddy Peralta and Tarek Skubal on the same team and McLean. I mean, you're talking about a crazy, crazy, crazy rotation, an absolute crazy rotation. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to happen or anything. Now, there is some case that's going on with obviously the arbitration case with Tarek Skubal and the fact that he wants to get paid. Tarek Skubal wants to get paid, but the Tigers don't want to pay him what he's deserved. At the end of the day, he's definitely deserved 32 mil. I mean, more. This guy is the best pitcher in the game. Brett Beatty's a very versatile player who plays third base. And not just that, G Money, he plays multiple. And I'm talking about multiple, spots. So I love it, man. I really do love it. I think it's very interesting, to see what's gonna happen here. But with the New York Mets, right? Brett Beatty, right? I know Bo Bichette, right? When Bo Bichette was signed here, is like, where's Brett Beatty gonna play? What's he gonna do? And then there was talks, oh, maybe he could play left field, maybe he could play second base, maybe he could play third base, maybe he could be the utility guy. And I was like, Acuna's the utility guy, right? So he's gonna have to be traded. So that's what they did. The Mets ended up trading Luis Angel Acuna, and Beatty's probably going to be your utility guy. And I have no problem with that because of what Brett Beatty did. He put in the work to make him more versatile. He put in the work to get better at defense. I mean, he was a really good third baseman in 2025. Really awesome to see. Echo, my guy, I get that, but it did have something to do with the team last season. That was reported, Randy. I don't know. Look, if you want to say something was reported, what was reported? That Juan Soto didn't like fashion? What was reported? That Francisco Lindor liked fashion and what Juan Soto didn't like fashion and they didn't get along? Is that what was reported? Because if that's what you're talking about, then was it the Brandon Nimmo and Lindor thing? Was that really proven though? Was the Brandon Nimmo, the politic thing, was that proven with Lindor? You can't say that was proven. You cannot say that was proven. So we'll see what happens there. But it did affect the Mets. Look, whatever, something did affect the Mets in 2025, but I don't feel that it had to do with so much of that politics like I guess you feel, but it is what it is. We're going to move on. The New York Mets got outbid by the evil Los Angeles Dodgers empire. When it comes to the Dodgers, right? You say they're evil, right? But honestly, are they really evil? Like, yes, I don't like their comment. I don't like Dave Roberts saying, oh, we're 4 wins away from ruining baseball. Like, nobody wants to hear that, right? Nobody wants to hear that we're 4 wins away from ruining baseball. Like, nobody wants to hear that. So when I heard that as a Met fan, when I was watching the playoffs, when I was watching the playoffs, and I'm like, come on, the Dodgers, like, what the hell? That's why I was rooting for the Toronto Blue Jays to beat their ass and beat them, but it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm confident this team will have a healthy clubhouse culture. Yeah, I hope they do. I truly hope they do, man. Yeah, man, look, politics, I could care less about politics. I really could care less about politics. I'm not a politics guy. I'm not the guy to go for politics. When it comes to things, I live my life and I live my life how I live my life, and I don't really care much about politics. So people that care about politics, cool. That's you, but I could care less. Like I really could. Like I just live my life, and whatever happens, happens. If you want to call me ignorant, cool. I don't really care. Like I just don't. There's so many I'm just not my thing. It's not my thing. But definitely let's just say whoa, yeah, I mean, whoa, right? I mean, if you really get like if you get what's it called? If you get like, let's say Skubal becomes available and you trade for Skubal, like that's gonna be wild. That would be like the biggest cherry on top ever when it comes to the baseball season. Literally, like you get Freddy Peralta and then you get Terry Scuba. And I'm not saying that it's like you're gonna get him. I'm not saying that, and I'm not really hyping that up. But what I'm saying is maybe because I don't think he's gonna be traded. I don't think he's gonna be traded this offseason. And I would be very surprised if he does, because it's like, wow, if he does get traded, the Dodgers are gonna go after him. The Dodgers are gonna go after Tarek Skubal. If those trade talks really get serious, don't the Dodgers are gonna go after him. I'll tell you that. So let me see here. What's going on, Abraham? As a Dodgers fan, I really do hope that the Mets actually get better and keep improving. It will be more fun. Wow. Look, I really appreciate your comment here, because as a Dodgers fan, like your organization, the Dodgers, hasn't really done anything wrong. They've done everything right. When they've done everyththing legal when it comes to the CBA. So I know a lot of people say the evil Dodgers and all that, whatever, but your team is doing what they need to do. What does Andrew Friedman want to do? Bring out a championship every single year. Try to be the best team every single year. He says it every single year. He says we're going to do everything in our best possibility to have a better year. And I don't blame him. Andrew Friedman is freaking awesome. I really so we'll see here. Wait for Skubal to be a free agent. And I do agree with you. So I want to talk about that, because Tarek Skubal, to me, I would love to have him as a free agent. I don't want to give up any more prospects when it comes to, we already gave up Jet Williams. We gave up Brandon Sproat. I don't want to give up a Jonah Tong, AJ Ewing, and more to get a Tarek Skubal. But at the end of the day, I'm not the GM. I'm not the GM, man. I'm really not the GM. So, wow. This is just an exciting offseason. And I think there's maybe more to come, maybe not. But what I want to say about Tarek Skubal is you have Jonah Tong in your back pocket. You have a top prospect, a top pitching prospect. And when you look at Jonah Tong, that is a high top prospect that many, and I'm talking about many teams want. Everybody wants Jonah Tong. And there's a reason why. Because of his ability, because of his prospect profile, because of his pitches. I mean, Jonah Tong is a prospect that he looks like he's young, and when he gets better, he's only going to get better. I mean, we're talking about an awesome starting pitcher. Now, he did get rocked. He's young. He has a lot to learn, and there's development that needs to be, there needs to be some development there. But I love it, though. I love it, because now the Mets, to be honest, okay, you traded Brandon Sproat, right? You got Jonah Tong. You got Jonathan Santucci. You got Jack Weniger. You got Will Watson. You got RJ Gordon. You got Christian Scott. Okay, you traded Brandon Sproat. You got so many starting pitching prospects that is okay, I'm good. We're good. We're completely good, man. Let me see here. Mez, I'm happy for you, Randy. Well, shout out to Mez, bro. Hopefully you're doing good, man. Really appreciate you coming to the stream, taking the time out of your night. Man, look, when it comes to the New York Mets, man, we got hopefully some more moves to come. Maybe not. Maybe they do. Maybe this is the lineup. Maybe this is the rotation. Now, what's going to happen, man? This is a good comment. I like this comment by Mez here. I really do like this comment. Everyone is sleeping on Myers. Tobias Myers has years of control, guys. Years of control. Like I said, 5 shutout innings in the wild card game in Game 3 against the New York Mets in 2024. I mean, that is what you want to see from a Tobias Myers. He's a guy that has really good stuff too. So is he better as a relief pitcher? Is he better as a starter? Well, he could be both if you want. Absolutely. If you want. Ooh, I like this comment here by G Money. Shout out to G Money. What happens to Christian Scott? Christian Scott, man. Look, when it comes to Christian Scott, obviously he had to have Tommy John. He missed the whole year of 2025, but 2026, he is going to be healthy. He's going to be good. Now, where is he going to fit for the New York Mets? Are they going to put him at AAA? Are they going to give him a shot to start? Maybe they do trade a Kodai Senga. Maybe they do trade a David Peterson. Maybe Christian Scott does get a role. Maybe Jonathan gets a role. I like Christian Scott. I like what he did when he pitched here, but I do feel like there's something lacking when it comes to a Christian Scott. And that was the breaking pitches, guys. The breaking pitches, it wasn't that elite. He needed to work on his breaking pitches. I don't feel like they were major league ready. Those breaking pitches, they weren't that sharp. Now, when you look at a guy like Nolan McLean, Nolan McLean has an RPM of 3,000, so nobody really has those type of breaking pitches like Nolan McLean. But Brandon Sproul has some good breaking pitches. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot to like with what the Mets have with their pitching prospects. I think they're rich with pitching prospects. How many pitchers do you think really realistically are going to pitch in the major leagues? All of those guys? Maybe not, right? Probably not. Realistically not. So make the damn trade. And that is what the Mets did, man. The Mets traded, like I said, the Mets traded Brandon Sproul. Who, look, at the end of the day, how do you guys feel about the way the Mets use Brandon Sproul? How do you feel about the way, Nolan McLean and Jonathan jumped him? Like, at the end of the day, I don't feel like the Mets were as committed to Brandon Sproul as we thought. I don't. So it was a trade that needed to happen. Just gonna get a little drink of water here, guys. So listen, there's a lot to like, right? When it comes to Christian Scott, there's a lot to like when it comes to a Jonathan, who's a top prospect, man. But Jet Williams, it really sucks to lose Jet Williams. It really does. But I feel like AJ Ewing, and that's the guy that AJ, that's been talked about. AJ Ewing is a guy that could play second base. He could play center field. He's a guy that's athletic. Guess what? Jet Williams didn't steal 70 bases in 2025. You know who stole 70 bases in 2025? It was AJ Ewing. Okay? So AJ Ewing is a guy with speed. He's a guy that, man, looks very, very exciting. Awesome bat to ball skills. And the Mets still feel that he has more development and more power waiting. He only had 3 home runs, right? But he had a very high average. And he was a fast riser in the system. So there's a lot to like when it comes to AJ Ewing. But we'll definitely see what happens. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited here. Let me see. I'm just getting a little hot here. Let me see here. A comment here. It seems like Ronnie Mauricio has gotten forgotten since his injury happened in 2023. Now, look, that's my boy. You talking about my boy, Ronnie Mauricio. This is a guy that I've been talking about for some time. I haven't forgot Ronnie Mauricio, but what I will tell you is Ronnie Mauricio needs time. He needs time. He needs time to really play baseball. He needs a full year in AAA in 2026. He needs a full year. I don't feel like he's ready to face that major league pitching against those breaking pitches, because you saw what he did against breaking pitches in 2025. He struggled. He absolutely struggled. He needs to make more contact. He needs to figure out if he's going to hit better from the freaking right side of the plate. Okay. Left side, he's better, but right side, he needs to freaking work on. So I think it's exciting. It's really exciting to see what's going to happen with Ronnie Mauricio, what's going to happen with, not Jet Williams anymore, because Jet Williams is not a Met, but AJ Ewing. That's another guy that's exciting. Jacob Reimer, a very exciting piece. So I like it, man. I really do, man. We'll definitely see what happens. Let me see here. See here. And what? Let's get to a comment here by Mr. Steve Cohen. What an incredible week. Let's go Mets. How do you guys feel about that Steve Cohen comment, man? I look, what I also want to say is this. When Steve Cohen said, because it's been a wild 2 weeks for us Met fans, man. I mean, like literally last week, Kyle Tucker was signed to the Dodgers, and we were in talks with Kyle Tucker, and we offered him a lot of money, but it just didn't work out that way. It didn't work out. But when Steve Cohen says, "Let me know when you see smoke," I'm like, okay, did we get him or not? Did we get him? And I'm thinking in my head, we got him. I'm like, yo, we got Kyle Tucker. We freaking got Kyle Tucker. And then I see a tweet, his second tweet from Steve Cohen, and he's saying, oh, we're still waiting on his decision. I'm like, oh, damn it, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Like, man. Like, I wanted Kyle Tucker, and then I had this feeling that we had him, and then like that feeling went away once I saw that second tweet. So at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. They didn't get Kyle Tucker. They didn't get Cody Bellinger, but they did get Luis Robert, and they did get Freddy Peralta. So, and they got Devin Williams, and they got Luke Weaver, and they got Tobias Myers, and they got Jorge Polanco, and they got Bo Bichette. Like, guys, it's been a wild, wild offseason, man. Wild offseason. But the prospects, I think they have so many prospects. They still have top prospects in the game, guys. And their prospects are only going to get better, okay? They're only going to get better. Jacob Reimer, let's say if Bo Bichette doesn't really work out, like let's say he opts out or whatever, Jacob Reimer is only going to get better, and hopefully he'll be a piece at third base. Maybe Brett Baty, you could just slide him back to third base. At the end of the day, the Mets have roster flexibility, and that is the big thing when it comes to the New York Mets. It's roster flexibility. I absolutely love it. Ronnie Mauricio, he has been striking out a lot. Yeah. The thing with Ronnie is like that tore ACL, man. Like that really messes with you, man. That really messes with you. And Ronald Acuna, Jr., he's been through it 2 times. But Ronnie Mauricio is like, what's gonna happen? Like I don't know. He just hasn't performed like how I thought he was going to perform. And also, I think he needs to work on the type of hitter that he is, because I see that, yes, he has a lot of power. When he really connects, he could hit that ball deep. And I'm talking about deep, man. He hit that ball in freaking McKinney Cole in the Giant Stadium. And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, that's what you want to see. And then that was a big home run, too. That was a big home run against Camilo Duvall. And then you see another home run. Was it Camilo Duvall? No, it was the flamethrower. It was the other guy. God, why am I forgetting his name? But basically, Ronnie Mauricio, 2 big home runs, and I'm talking about big home runs, because he had that ninth tying game home run against Robert Suarez. I mean, that's what you want to see from Ronnie, man. And so I like this team. I like where we're going. I see like the vision of David Stearns, because credit to my guy Charles, man, who's always in Twitter Spaces. I know he took a little break from the Mets Twitter Spaces until today, but and I don't blame him, because there wasn't really much to talk about at the end of the day. But I think when it comes to Charles, it's like, credit to him, man. I mean, credit to him, because he said it. He said it from the beginning. Like, Stearns doesn't like this team. This is not Stearns' team. Pete Alonso was not picked by David Stearns. Brandon Nimmo was not picked by David Stearns. Jeff McNeil was not picked by David Stearns, right? So look what he did. He traded those guys. He traded Brandon Nimmo. He traded Jeff McNeil, and he didn't want Pete Alonso back. He didn't want Pete Alonso back. Now, people he talks about run prevention, and I get the whole run prevention thing and all that. You're getting better at center field. You're getting Luis Robert, who, if he could stay on the field, be a plus defender out there. Really good arm as well. And then you got Marcus Simeon, who's an awesome defender, Gold Glover, a captain. I mean, that is what you want. And he also was targeting Kyle Tucker, who was a 2-time Gold Glover. So at the end of the day, did the defense get better? Well, you got Bo Bichette at third base and you got Jorge Polanco at first base right now. Jorge Polanco has never really played first base. I think he played 1 inning at the end of the day. And Bo Bichette has at third base. He hasn't really, played that much at third base. So I think he played yeah. I don't think Bo Bichette has played a lot of third base. So this is exciting times, guys. This is very, very exciting times. But we're definitely very excited. What's to come from the New York Mets. But at the end of the day, they got the starter. They got him. They got him. The Mets landed Freddy, guys. The Mets landed Freddy Peralta. I mean, just really think about it. We landed Freddy freaking Peralta, bro. What? What? Now you have a real starting pitcher, man. In that rotation. It's just so, Clay Holmes, the awesome year that he had in 2025. What if he adds to that in 2026? What if David Peterson has that bounce back? Kodai Senga has a really good year. Who knows? I'm not confident in the Kodai Senga. Sean Manaea also, that's another bounce back candidate as well. So just so much excitement with this team. Let me see here. But look, David Stearns cooked, guys. He cooked. He went in the kitchen and he cooked. Right? He did his thing. And credit to him. Yeah, Bo Bichette used to play shortstop and second base. He never really played third base. So at the end of the day, is okay, we'll see what happens. But David Stearns said it today in the Bo Bichette press conference. He said, yeah, we feel good about him playing third. We think he's going to adapt well to the situation. And I'm like, all right. Look, David Stearns, I feel like he's a smart guy. He's a very intelligent man. He went to Harvard, and he's a baseball mind. So there's just a lot of excitement, man. It's a lot of excitement. Very, very excited to what's to come from the New York Mets, man. But yeah, so the final trade, obviously the Mets traded Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams. Let me see here. Brandon Sproat, who the Mets traded. Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams for Freddy damn Peralta and Tobias Myers. And yes, don't sleep on Tobias Myers because he is going to be a nice piece for this team. He's going to be a nice piece for this team. So hopefully everybody is, is having a good night, feeling good. I hope everybody is feeling positive about our New York Mets team. I know it's been a rough off season for us in the beginning because we went through literally a triple freaking whammy. We went we lost Brandon, we traded Brandon Nimmo, and then we lost Edwin Diaz, and then we lost Pete Alonso. It was oh shoot, that was a lot. And then it just went silent. The Mets didn't make moves until December. So there was a lot of just waiting. And that's the thing about the Mets, that the MLB off season, just in general, you just wait forever. You're waiting, and you don't know when things are going to break. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't. And that's what I feel is with the season, the MLB off season. It's damn, all right, can we put a deadline? I don't know, man. That's how I feel about it. But if you put a deadline for the MLB players, more things are gonna happen quickly, So we'll definitely see what happens. Let me see here. Read some comments. Spring training doesn't start until February 21st, 2026. That's a good point. That's a good point, man. But overall, guys, how you feeling about this team? How you feeling about Freddy Peralta? How you feeling about overall everything here? I'm excited. I'm excited. Guys, Nolan McLean couldn't be your ace. He couldn't go into 2026 and be your ace. Okay? Now you have an ace. Now you have Freddy Peralta. I mean, if we're talking about literally like a rainbow and going catching gold at the end of the rainbow, maybe Scuba becomes available and you get Scuba. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not hanging my buck on that. I'm not handing my like I'm just not. I'm just not thinking that like anything is possible in baseball, but it's like that would be wild. And I'm talking about wild, 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 wild. So it's just gonna be very interesting to see. Let me see here. Did you hear about the New York Mets games being aired on NBC for 4 games? No, I didn't hear that. When? Did they come out with the date or no? NBC is getting 4 Mets games, not Netflix. Wow. Wow. I think when it comes to this is like cool, right? Like the Mets on NBC. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think the Mets love. I mean, that's prime time. You're talking about NBC. That's prime time right there. So I love it. I absolutely love it. So we'll definitely see. What's coming with the Mets further. I don't feel like they're gonna make. I'm not gonna underestimate the Mets and say they're not gonna make any more moves because the Mets could still make moves. They really could. What if they trade for Yandy Diaz tomorrow? What if they trade Mark Vientos? Like the Mets still have so much moves that they possibly could make if they want. It's up to them. It's up to the New York Mets. And what I will say is David Stearns is working. He's working hard. And yeah, like I know a lot of people might not be happy about the outfield, but what if Carson Bench has an awesome year? And what if Luis Robert has an awesome year? And don't forget, you got Juan Damn Soto on this team and Francisco Lindor. And you got the WBC coming. I don't know how you guys feel. Are you guys excited about the WBC? I'm excited about it. Like, I love seeing like these all-stars. Like the last WBC, when Shohei Ohtani struck out Mike Trout, that was awesome to see. That was so cool because they were like teammates. And I was like, oh shoot, like it's the best against the best. So that's what I love about the WBC. But man, what if they go for Framber? What if Framber Valdez is still a possibility? I have no clue what the Mets are gonna do. No clue what the Mets are gonna do. But you imagine what if they offer? Because I don't think that they're gonna sign Framber Valdez for like a 5-year or 6-year deal. I think they're probably gonna give him like high AAV 3-year deal. Are they out? Like, are they out on him now because they got Freddy Peralta? My guess is yeah. But like, I don't want to underestimate the Mets because I think the Mets could do whatever they want to do. Like the Mets, their payroll right now, like what is it at? Like, what's the payroll at? 390? Like, holy shit. We're almost at 400. I did hear that you and Top Bunk getting up a new podcast. I'm following you on my sports YouTube page. Excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. I can't wait for the new podcast. Yeah, we're in works with that. We're still working on it. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited about what's to come for just in general for me and Top Queens baseball, everybody, man. We're very excited. All the Mets content creators doing their thing. Shout out to everybody doing their thing, man. This was a huge, huge day for the New York Mets. Absolute huge night for the New York Mets. What I want to say, this is my last thoughts here, and credit to the 144 coming in tonight. Taking the time out of your night. This is what, a Wednesday night. This is a Wednesday night. And you guys are, coming in and into a Mets video, Mets live stream. I mean, absolutely awesome, man. So you guys are awesome. At the end of the day, if you're new to the channel, definitely do me a favor, leave a like. It always helps the channel. Definitely subscribe for you can see more videos. If you like the video, if you enjoyed that live stream, if you enjoyed a video of mine, definitely, man. But there's more to come. There is more to come, more videos, more streams. And yeah, we're only just getting started, baby. 2026. Let's go, Mets. Everybody, have a good one, y'all.